almost time. Okay, just, I guess, go like that to me. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, he's the new Bob. I'm going to mention that. He's the new Bob. He had a little paddle. He had a little paddle. Then he finally made one that said, use your mic. He'd hold it up like this. Remember, Bob? Talk into your mic. Okay, there he's got it right there. It is Bob.
It is Bob's.
It's Bob's? All right. All right. We ready? Good evening. We'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Danny, will you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. And we have, Sister Judy from First Assembly of God Church.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the men and women who serve on our city council. We ask that you grant them wisdom, discernment, and a spirit of unity as they lead our community. Give them the courage to make decisions that prioritize the common good, promote justice, and protect the vulnerable. Please bless our city council and with patience and understanding, and help them to listen to the voices of the people they serve. Guide our city staff and leadership as they implement strategies that bring peace, prosperity, and stability to our neighborhoods. May our city continue to grow in cooperation and mutual respect. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering,
Here.
Councilwoman Ramirez,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Scott,
Here.
Mayor Mintz.
Here.
Did I say something wrong?
Thank you. Any change?
Oh, I was like,
No, there's no closed session announcements. Any changes to the agenda? Seeing none. Okay, now I have to read this other part. The public participation option. City council meetings will be held in person, but they may watch the meetings via live stream or participate through the following options below. Live stream, YouTube, City of Twine Palms, YouTube. In person, general comment. Until arrival, please complete a speaker card and submit to the city clerk. Online public comment, virtual participation conducted via WebEx. Use the raise hand feature to request to speak. Meeting online link is webinar topic, City Council meeting, July 14, 2026 at 6 p.m. Date and time is Tuesday, July 14, 2026, 6 p.m. UTC-7 o'clock Pacific time, U.S. and Canada. The registrar link will be on each meeting agenda. So if you just go to our website and you're clicking on our agenda, there'll be a link on there if you want to stay at home and do this. So this is our very first time to do it. We are complying with AB 707. So if Eli raises his hand and say, wait, something stopped, we'll hold up for a few minutes. But he did a really great job in doing all this, and so I want to thank him for that. Let's see. Okay, notice is hereby given that the City Council will be held a regular meeting on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026 at City Hall, 6136 Adobe Road, 29 Palms, California, 92277, and concerning the following. Okay. Announcements. These proceedings will be viewed on demand on the City of 29 Palms website at www.29palms.org. You may also live stream this meeting going on the website and clicking on the meeting agendas link. Awards, proclamations, appointments is Community Leadership Award presentation related to VOCA funding. Councilmember Ramirez.
Well, I'd like to just talk about what VOCA funding is before Councilmember Ramirez hands out a few recognitions. But VOCA funding comes from the Victims of Crimes Act. Okay, that's what VOCA stands for. And this is a federally funded source. What's interesting about this, not taxpayer money, this is a fund that is put together out of criminal fines, federal criminal fines, bonds, and that type of thing. So it's not taxpayer funded, which is an interesting source of revenue for the government, but it goes towards the victims of crimes. And it comes from the feds through the state down to the local level. So it's part of the problem with it is it really the size of the fund depends on how many criminal prosecutions there have been. And over the last several years, the number of federal criminal prosecutions have gone down, and settlements have gone up. So in that respect, the funding is pretty volatile, and from year to year, it can vary pretty widely. And this year, we're looking at some significant funding cuts in the state, and Councilman Ramirez wants to honor a few people that came out and fought hard to keep that funding going.
Hi. Good afternoon, everybody, or evening, I guess, at this point. I'm going to read a little something, and then I'll call everybody up. This award is being presented with sincere appreciation for your exceptional leadership, unwavering dedication, and steadfast commitment to protecting victims of crime throughout California. I first got involved in this fight when I was notified that we, as a region, were facing a devastating 43% reduction in victim services funding. And I thought long and hard about what this fight would mean. This would mean literally going up against the state to ensure that we had those resources for victims of domestic violence, for victims of sexual assault, and anybody else. But it's something that was close to me, so I joined the fight. And so did all of you that are being honored tonight. You refused to accept that outcome. Through relentless advocacy, bipartisan collaboration, and unwavering commitment to survivors, what began as a proposal for a 43% cut turned into a $25 million one-time investment, and ultimately, we finalized at a $50 million investment in the California state budget signed by the governor's office, preserving critical services for victims and their families across our state. This remarkable achievement is a testament to the power of partnership and the belief that every victim deserves access to justice, healing, and hope. So you guys are ready. This award will proudly recognize the outstanding contributions of Partners Against Violence. Ms. Gina Pliss and Sarah Shook, thank you very much. Senator Rosalie Ochoa-Bowe, thank you, as well as Senator Suzette Valladares for all of your support during my visit to Sacramento. The entire Bureau of Victim Services over at the San Bernardino District Attorney's Office. We even had youth leaders get involved. So Ms. Addison Bradshaw is here. This is a group of youth leaders that were promoting advocacy throughout the high schools about what safe relationships look like and the resources that are available to people or not. And I believe that education is best rooted in prevention. So this award is more than a recognition of what was accomplished. It is a reminder that when advocates, survivors, public servants, elected officials, and community leaders stand together, we don't just change budgets, we save lives. So I present this award with our deepest gratitude for your service, your leadership, and your unwavering commitment to victims of crime all over California. And I will call up first Partners Against Violence. Gina, so I'll give you Gina's as well. Let's stay up here so we can take one group photo. Is that okay? And Sarah. Miss Addison Bradshaw. San Bernardino County Supervisor Don Rao's office. Yeah, we're gonna take one more altogether. And then Unity Homes presentation as well. And then one group photo. Okay, please. Come on in, guys. Just kidding, we're going this way. No, we are going this way. Yeah, Miss Cindy already. Do you guys want to join? Are you joining? No joining? Okay. So again, thank you to everybody. If any of the organizations have anything to say, now would be your time.
All right. Oh, they're going to talk. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Sorry. Thank you. My name is Gina. I'm with Partners Against Violence, and I just want to thank you all on behalf of our agency for your support throughout the years. We've seen you wearing our T-shirts, coming to our events, and now going to Sacramento to fight on our behalf. We had an opportunity to go to Sacramento just in May for Policy Advocacy Day, where we had an opportunity to meet with several of our representatives in the area to fight for this VOCA funding, to explain to them what that means to us. But I think it's important that not just our state leaders understand what that is, but that our community understands. When we lose VOCA funding, we lose survivor services. And for a lot of people, those survivor services are life-saving. More than 13% of people who are sexually assaulted will think about suicide or more. We have a high rate of good things happening in our community with all of the VOCA funding, but when we lose that for our agency in particular, we take the chance of losing staff. I have seen staff been lost. As a counselor, it's very difficult for that because we have an ethical obligation not to abandon our clients. And when we lose staff, that's a slight abandonment because now somebody doesn't have somebody to go to court with them, doesn't have them to do counseling, doesn't have them for those services that help them get back up on their feet. And I know that I'm not speaking for just my own agency, but all of the helping agencies in this area, especially because we all work together. So it's really important that this funding stays with us. I've been with our agency for 7 years. I've seen the cuts happen, and I'm very fortunate to still be here, and I'm so glad that I can continue to serve the survivors of our community. So on behalf again of our agency and April, thank you so much for the hard work that you've done, and the fight continues. This is a one-time funding. This is something every year we've had to continue to go back for. So we appreciate the community's support, and we hope that we'll all continue to fight in this battle together.
I just wanted to commend you all and April for taking the reins on behalf of Supervisor Don Rao. Thank you for the recognition, but it really goes to you for standing up for what's right. Your unwavering fight to fight for that funding shows your deep commitment to our communities. So thank you so much, because now because of that, everyone can do the hard work, and thank you so much.
On behalf of Morongo Basin Unity Home for Domestic Violence Services and our Executive Director, Susanna Barnett, we want to say thank you for the support, the community as well. As Ms. Gina was saying, we work as a community, we believe in the community, and when we work together, we're able to provide these services individually and what we focus on. And even though we work on domestic violence, we can reach out to others to work together to get that going and help our client as much as we can. And one of our main goals is not only to provide a safe haven, but also educate. And that's one of our goals too, so they can live free from domestic violence or sexual assault. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, back to the dais. Council comments and reports, meetings attended. Mr. Billing, yes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to thank the staff for the remodel and getting the chamber up to compliance with the new state mandate. I also want to thank the Park and Rec staff for the 4th of July celebration. I got to visit Knott Sky Park for a little bit, and it was, once again, I know we had a change of some employees, but it was seamlessly, you couldn't tell. It was another well operated staff in an event. So, and I also attended the Flock Town Hall meeting, and I also had some meetings with some citizens on some bigger things going on that they want in the city. And also last week, Ms. Viescas celebrated her 29th birthday. So I'm not gonna sing happy birthday. I'm not the singing mayor. I don't think none of us have the voice for that, but
We'll leave it to
we'll leave it to Joel to come get you, serenade you later. All right. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Ramirez?
I also attended Mayor Pro Tem's Flock Community Roundtable. I attended a CPUC, which is California Public Utilities Commission webinar, to start to take the first steps to see what we need to do as local leaders to get more involved in the decision-making process. I attended multiple meetings with several different tribal communities and leaders regarding relationship building and ecotourism. And I also had conversations with Morongo Unified School District leadership and resources that we could bring to help them with the new laws that are coming in. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Wright?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I attended the 4th of July celebration out at Knott Sky Park. And want to wish Sydney a happy birthday. Awesome. And I heard she had a great time from her son. So, and then also want to remind everybody that the Warhawks football is up and running. We started our spring training. Our season officially starts on the 27th. And so we're still looking for kids to sign up and all those good things like that, so that we can have a great season. So I found out that we have a lot of great athletes in this community. As you can tell by the basketball all-star season, the baseball all-star season, the softball all-star season, they've been doing a fantastic job. So we're looking for a great football season as well. And then I want to also share that I've officially decided to run for re-election for the City of 29 Palms City Council, representing District 5. It's been a privilege serving, and I want to continue to serve. I know it's still a lot of work that we got to do, and I want to be a part of getting that done. So we're going to be here and just need to continue support, prayers, and votes when it's time. So thank you.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Scott?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I attended the 4th of July event, and I also want to thank Parks and Recs for putting that together. I also want to thank the Kiwanis Club. They did something very special this year for the United States' 250th birthday. I got the privilege to help read a portion of the Declaration of Independence for that event. It was beautiful. I attended the Flock Roundtable at Patriotic Hall. Again, I want to thank staff and our community for participating in that. The conversation was contentious at times, but it was fruitful, and I think it needed to happen. And so I appreciate everybody who participated, as well as my colleagues on the dais. I attended, I think that's it. But I also want to say that I've officially pulled papers for reelection representing District 4 and have begun the process for a nomination. I appreciate all of my constituents in 29 Palms, not just District 4, for the ability to serve you guys, and I hope that you guys see fit that I get to continue that service. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I attended the Base YMCA Marine Recognition Luncheon at CMC. Also went to the Hope Center ribbon cutting that some of you other folks were there. Oh, look at their faces down. And then also the same day we went to the Great Race at Lucky Park. We had all the cars that started in Chicago going through 29 Palms. They stopped here and continued on to Santa Monica. So that was pretty cool seeing all those folks. I think that's the third or fourth time it's been here. It's been here a few times, so that's good. I also went to the 4th of July at Knott Sky Park. A lot of happy kids running around there. A lot of people. Staff did another great job, so I want to thank them. Let's see. Oh, the Basin Transit had to pack the bus at Walmart on Saturday, and they'll be giving out that stuff on July 28th at the Boys and Girls Club in Yucca Valley, and that's open to everybody. So they always pack that bus full. So there's a lot of back to school stuff. So. Also, again, I just want to thank Eli and his staff and the Public Works guys who had to go through this room, had to go through the ceiling. Obviously, they had to pull a lot of wires and get this done. It looks really cool right now, but there was a lot of work went into this. So I just want to thank staff totally. And also on Monday, I did pull my papers for reelection. And that's all I have. Thank you. And I'm not going to forget this week. City manager update. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I kind of dovetail on what you just said. Staff has been amazing getting this room put together. It was a short window to be able to do that. You may know or may not know that at one time this building housed the jail. So running stuff through the ceiling sometimes is not so easy when you have to contend with some steel plates and some brick walls and that kind of stuff. And they managed to tear it all apart and put it back together with this new technology, and we've been testing it the last couple of days. We think we got it pretty dialed in. We will continue to do that as time goes on, but thank you, Eli, and thank Public Works staff that came and helped. It was a team effort, and they did a great job. Along the lines of that, I want to let everybody know it's been hot lately, and we do have a cooling center here in 29 Palms, and it's designated the senior center. One of the reasons we have it there is because there's an emergency generator at that location in case we lose power. The criteria for opening the cooling center, the senior center is open to seniors from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock generally, which case all seniors can go in there and enjoy the cool air. If we open the cooling center, it's going to be open to the general public. Now, when we would do that would typically be when the heat index rises to 110. We get that information from the National Weather Service. I know everybody's phones, their cars, their houses all could say a different temperature at any given time, so we take it from the National Weather Service in order to have a consistent thing. The heat index is a combination not only of the heat, but humidity and some other factors. So sometimes it is lower than the temperature, and sometimes it is higher than the actual temperature. Having said that, we have lowered that threshold from 115 this year to 110. So we watch that on a daily basis, and we'll be opening that cooling center when the heat index rises to 110. So I wanted to let everybody here and in the public know that. Another issue that seems to be a concern is the functionality of our EV chargers at the Freedom Plaza. We have 5 chargers down there. We have 3 fast chargers and 2 slow chargers. They're very expensive pieces of equipment, and they're very expensive to fix. Currently, we have 2 of the fast chargers working and the two slower chargers working. We've looked into fixing the third charger, but it is in fact about a $12,000 fix. And so we're trying to figure out where in the budget we can get that money to get that fixed. They're very expensive to fix, and we have another EV charger which has been out of service for a couple of years now, and that's over in Buckland Park. So we're looking at what we can do with that also. But it's in the works. Compounding the problem is that we don't have anybody locally that works on those. So we have to get those from out of the area, and oftentimes it's hard to get them up here. So anyway, just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. And finally, what I will say is bring your attention to a meeting that's happening tomorrow afternoon from 5:30 to 7:30 at Copper Mountain College regarding the Music Valley Mine. And there'll be an informational meeting there. So anybody in the public that's interested in such a thing can get out there, and that meeting's again from 5:30 to 7:30 in the community room of the Bell Center out at Copper Mountain College. That's it for my update.
Okay, thank you. All right. Consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the city council and will be enacted on one motion in the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the city council. The public is given an opportunity to comment on the consent calendar items prior to the city council action. Anybody want to pull either item? I don't think so. Okay, anybody from the public want to talk about sewage? Oh, okay. All right, bring it back to the council for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Okay, a motion. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Ramirez,
Aye.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Scott,
Aye.
Mayor Mintz.
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, there was no items removed. There's no public hearing, discussion, potential action items. Designation of delegate for the annual CalCity conference. Cindy, are you?
Thank you, Mayor. This is something that comes to you every year with respect to the CalCities conference, and we would like the City Council to designate a delegate and an alternate delegate for CalCities annual conference. Sometimes there's votes that have to be taken and whatnot out there, and these would be our delegates for that.
There are resolutions that they put forward at a meeting on Friday after the conference. Last year, they didn't have any, so there was no need to stay, but typically they do have resolutions that they ask delegates to be present for to vote on behalf of the city. So at this moment, we have two that are only attending, which would be Mayor Mintz and Councilwoman Ramirez. So we need a delegate and an alternate at the moment, so.
Are you staying late Friday or are you leaving early? You'll stay? Okay. I guess I'm the alternate then.
Okay, so we have a delegate, Councilwoman Ramirez, and alternate delegate, Mayor Mintz. Thank you very much.
Last year there was no meeting. We just.
There was, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Senate Bill 707, SB 707, introduction of policies related to Brown Act changes.
Okay, this item was actually on our last agenda, but it was my mistake that we didn't have a discussion on it. It ended up on the consent calendar, so I want to bring it forward for a discussion. It's essentially a policy, a city policy that outlines, it speaks to our new technology system that we have going for our meetings, opening it up to the public at home. It talks specifically about what happens if the technology fails for a time, how the meeting continues, can we, and essentially we would stop the meeting, try to fix the problem. It would take a certain amount of time to do that. If after an hour we still can't get the fix going, that we could resume the meeting after trying our hardest to get it going. We could resume the meeting and finish it that way. So the policy speaks to that. Again, you folks saw it last time. It's here again for discussion.
Okay. Well, we have comments. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions for staff? I'll just, okay. Okay, this is just open to the public. And we have Kimberly would like to speak on item number 5.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Zizeks. I've lived in District 1 for the past 10 years. I'm an artist, educator, and director of a local education nonprofit. I want to speak in opposition to the portion of this agenda item that, as I understand it, could lead to a decrease in the amount of time that people can speak on behalf of an agenda item. I didn't have time to prepare something, so I apologize if I ramble a little bit, but I just wanted to note that, like, in the 10 years I've lived here, my civic engagement has bloomed. This is in part due to issues that I have found really a dire need to speak on behalf of, like our needs in education or, California Environmental Quality Act, especially, a number of recent developments that have had a lot of problems with how they interface with the environment that we all benefit from and have a duty to protect. And so when these occasions have come up where I wanted to use my civic, rights and come speak on behalf of those things, I have done so much research and talked to people and really tried to put those thoughts together. And it's a nerve-wracking but empowering thing to be able to come in and make those statements. And 2 minutes is a very short amount of time. So with respect to the fact that I know there are issues where a great mass of people will come out to speak on behalf of something, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in to say that the more time we allow people to speak on behalf of things they're passionate about, I guess that is important to me. So thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Cindy Bernard.
Hi, Cindy Bernard, editor of Desert Trumpet and artist. The time limit section of the policy is currently written could use improvement. Council used to complain of crickets in chambers, and now there appears to be a concern that the public is too engaged. So what can we do? I think that these limits need some clarification. I understand why you have them, but they're not clear. While I understand the need to keep meeting lengths reasonable, the policy also reads as though the public is being penalized for engaging with council during meetings through public comment. The primary issue with the time limits is the policy fails to specify whether the number of speakers listed are per meeting, i.e., all items plus general public comment, per agenda item, or specific to general public comment. And it would be great to add clarification as to what we're talking about when we're talking about the number of speakers and the time limit. The policy also fails to take agenda length into account. This is concerning because occasionally council has very dense agendas in excess of 20 items. In that case, the public could be limited to 1 minute each, even if there is only 1 speaker per item, if it covers the whole agenda. Please consider clarifying the policy so these limits are applied per agenda item, not to the meeting as a whole. And perhaps you would then have a fewer number of speakers, but per item, as opposed to 16 overall. Otherwise, I fear they could read as an intentional effort to suppress public comment, and I don't think that's your intention at all. I think you're just trying to have a reasonable meeting length. So I hope you'll take the time to clarify those rules governing time limits. Also, just FYI regarding speaker registration, there's a conflict. Under speaker registration and procedures, you have requests will be accepted until 6 p.m. for in-person speakers, but under in-person participation, you say speakers should submit speaker slips by 6 p.m. So one section has more wiggle room than the other section, and you probably want to tighten that up or not. Personally, I think there should be wiggle room. People work. They can't always get here exactly at 6, and there should be some wiggle room there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, that's the only 2 slips I have. Nobody else? Okay, bring it back to council. Oh, okay, there you go. I did it the first time. Like somebody waved their hand. Okay.
I don't know if the meeting panel shows were connected, shows it's functioning. I do not know at this time if there's an issue. No one emailed me, no text me. Internet have been out there. I don't know if you could reach out to Amanda Clifford. Patrick Bowser did join, and then his
connected. I'm not sure if he's experiencing an issue. I don't know if we should pause for a second and try to reach out to him before we move forward, given I don't know if we're experiencing a disruption or not at this point.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see now it says attendee 0, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But we do have 5 registered attendees. And
But-
one of them I know was very passionate about attending remotely.
Okay. Well, oh, but you don't know what item they were wanting to speak on?
Opposition to 6. But
Oh, 6.
he did tell us that. I don't know at this point if he's able to connect or not connect. I don't know if he wanted to speak on other items.
Okay, so,
The main thing that's concerning me is the panelists who, the consultants, are not here either. That's concerning me more than the attendees. I'm sure a lot of people are going to register and not attend. But I would think panelists who have items on this agenda would be able to be.
so,
Let me reach out.
okay. So we'll just take a short pause.
Text Jennifer, because I know she was standing by.
I'm looking here at the admin console from Cisco, and it is showing that the link is active and diagnostic is fine. So, I could try quickly and test myself from the device.
She's trying to come in. I said she would.
Cindy, I give this back to you, right? No, yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, that'd be the envelope, because it's got the address right there. Oh. Okay. 6, yes. Okay.
But you can. What's that? Oh, she responded that she's gonna
The
try.
paperwork I just gave Cindy is a thing from our finance audit people that we have to certify some things, so that's what I was doing. I think Mac's doing the same thing. We're doing homework in class, yes. It says 1 attendee on there, Eli. Okay.
She called in. Yeah. Oh.
Oh. That means it's working? Okay. 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 All right, so I'm closing the public comment of this, and then we'll bring it back to council.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. She's staff, so she can talk.
Are you there, Jennifer? Hello, Jennifer, are you there? She did say she can't unmute herself, so maybe you have to unmute her.
Here, just let me unmute now.
Okay, there you are. Thank you for coming in, Jennifer. We just are testing our system as we're in the middle of the meeting, and so we appreciate you coming in. That
Perfect.
seems to be working. Thank you.
Glad to give you the assistance. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. I guess we can move forward then.
Okay, we'll move on to council discussion. Anybody have anything they want to?
Yeah, Mr. City Manager, just so we're all clear, there's some things in there that the public said, there's some inconsistencies. Is there anything in there we should tighten up?
Well, it's a good comments from the public there. Just as we're trying to dial in the actual technology, dialing in the policy around it, I think is important. So we'll definitely take a look at that. I did want to note that our current policy is if you're here in the room and you want to come up and you speak, we give you 3 minutes. While we haven't had a lot of meetings that exceed the numbers that we're looking at here, we have had some where we've had to limit. We've had to limit. So really, that's only the case where we have a large meeting, and as the public stated, usually that's really the only intent is to keep a reasonable time length for the meeting. So we'll take a look at that and see if we can make some adjustments.
Yeah, because obviously, yes, it's we definitely don't want to limit public input. We would definitely want the public's input on everything we do, and only if it's only time we've done is a few times where we've had meetings at Freedom Plaza or at the PAX, LPAC. So. Yeah. Right. So. Okay. Okay. Is this just a discussion? Do we have to vote on this? This one?
No, we need to adopt the policy.
Okay. All right. I'm looking for a motion if we're ready.
I make a motion that we adopt the policies related to the Brown Act changes, receive and file information on SB 707, and yeah, sorry, I read that wrong.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Bildering?
Is that me?
Mhm.
Aye.
That's you.
It was like Robert's vote. I'm like, was that me? Yeah, aye.
What did it sound bad? Councilwoman Ramirez?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Scott?
Aye.
Mayor Mintz?
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, item number 6, adoption and resolutions ordered the submission of City Council initiated ballot measure related to the adoption of ordinance establishing a 1% transition sales and use tax at November 3rd, general municipal election, and 2, setting the priorities for written arguments and directing the city attorney to prepare an impartial analysis. City Manager.
Okay, well, we've had a couple meetings on this up to now. The last 2, this item has been on the agenda, trying to give the public plenty of opportunity to speak on it. They'll have time tonight also, but what you have before you is the passage. We'd like you to consider the 2 resolutions. There are 2 resolutions. One is to put the actual ordinance on the ballot that will allow the voters to vote for or against. And then the second one is to direct the city attorney to provide an impartial analysis for the voter pamphlet, and to direct the mayor to write an argument in favor of the measure. Those are the 2 resolutions before you tonight, and if there's any questions that you have or things you want to talk about, we're here to facilitate that.
Okay. Any questions for staff? Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. We'll move on to the public comments. And I have one slip for Kimberly. Come on, back up. I wish I could even attempt to say your last name. Z-Y-Z. Oh, rhymes with Isaacs.
Yeah, I
Okay.
set you up for success there.
Oh,
Rhymes
thank
with-
you. So,
yeah, it's
yeah, I
Isaacs.
should read the whole thing. Rhymes with Isaacs. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name, as I mentioned before, is Kimberly Isaacs. I've been in District 1 for the past 10 years. I'm an artist, educator, and director of a local education nonprofit. I would like to see the 1% tax increase on the ballot in November. Though I am speaking as a private citizen and representing myself and not my organization today, I do want to note that in my role as director of the Institute of Inquiry, I've had the privilege of seeing how much the city does with a limited staff and a limited budget. When our education program was building our home-based childcare building, we had occasion to deal with planning and building departments frequently. This was during construction of Freedom Plaza, so it was a busy time for them. And I was always met with comprehensive answers from employees and quick turnarounds of anything that I brought across their desk. I learned a lot about how those systems work, and it's thanks to them giving me their time. Then again, during the beginning of our tenancy at the former Not Sky Preschool, I was bouncing between the city and the county for records and documents, trying to get our building ready and our childcare license, trying to find documents that predated the city from the 40s. Whenever, the Department of Social Services had requests for our childcare, the Parks and Recs folks and city employees made sure that they found funding to repair fences, update ADA access, and make sure they were never the cause of any delay. And none of those things were free. They had to pay to get fences repaired. These were things that, I was not able to do on my own, and they made it happen. So we have the benefit of a highly engaged population in 29 and all of the challenges of an underserved and high needs population. To be in a position of serving its residents, the city has to be able to hire and staff our needs. All the things like getting us prompt responses to FOIA requests or administering and offering grant programs for nonprofits or other community needs in like areas such as education, mental health, our unhoused population. All of this takes time, and that time has to be paid for somehow. Our city employees have always made time for the ways in which I contribute to our community, and I believe that this ballot measure is both reasonable and overdue and is just ready for voters to decide. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that was the only slips I had. I have one for number 6. Okay, come on up. Come on. That's all right. Come on up, ma'am. That's all right. All right. Mary, come on up. Mary Alice.
My name is Mary Alice Amsler. I'm still new at figuring out all this stuff. So if I interfere in your progress, I apologize again. I'm trying to learn. I spoke at the last session because of this way the resolution number 6, or whatever you're calling it, with the 1% transaction sales. I thought it was a very vaguely written. I remember the young lady up there, Ms. Ramirez, also agreed with me that it was vaguely written. I would like to know how and where, after the impartial analysis, what is it going to actually say on the ballot? Because I don't want to be presented with a ballot that I don't agree with. I don't necessarily disagree with the tax increase, but the vague wording, instead of saying it's for these 3 items, oh, and we can add some other stuff later. And that is the problem, the such as. That's all I have to comment on. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Simmons, will you please address that part of it?
Excuse me?
No, I was talking to the city manager.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
No. We have the exact measure language in resolution. The first resolution there. Yeah, you got to click on, there you go, go right down. And right there is the exact resolution language that will be, if this resolution passes, that will be submitted to the Register of Voters. I hope the public can read that. Can you see it? It's large enough? I can read it if not.
It's in the staff report on our agenda.
On our,
You just
in
go
our-
to our agenda on our website, and you click on this, and where the little blue, part on the right-hand side, you just click on that and it'll show you.
Much better, thank you.
Thank you for,
Would you like me to read that? Just
Sure.
in case. Okay, so this would be the actual language. Shall the measure funding services for the City of 29 Palms residents, including those required for maintaining 911 and emergency response times, police officers and patrols, repairing streets, sidewalks, responding to floods and natural disasters, maintaining clean and safe public parks, and upgrading the animal shelter by levying a transaction, in parentheses, sales and use tax of 1%, providing approximately $2 million in funds annually until ended by voters, requiring audits, public spending disclosures, and that all funds are used locally, be adopted. So that's the measure that will come before the voters if this resolution is passed tonight.
yes, and it doesn't, just to clarify, this doesn't just say, it goes into our general fund and we sit up here and just say, start divvying out the money. We do the exact same thing we've done since the city is incorporated. We go through the budget process, we go through hearings, and then we go through several hearings in June to clarify exactly how we're spending it. And each time the public has input on every single meeting that we do with that. So it's not, this isn't just a blank check for the city council. I just want everyone to be totally clear about this. This goes into the budget, into the general fund, but it will be budgeted this exact same way. We put money in the reserves every single year. This is my 15th and a half year, and we've put in thousands of dollars every single year in the reserves. When I first joined, they were putting in $900,000 until we had to reallocate. But so that money that's when T-bid was first formed. They were putting all that in the reserve. So that money, that's how that reserve got to be pretty high. So again, this is not just a blank check for the city council or staff just to start writing, just start spending money. So I just want you to be clear that the public will definitely have input on how this money is spent.
As we go through, to your point, as we go through the budget development process, we certainly encourage the public to come in and speak as we're developing the budget.
Absolutely. Okay, does anybody else that's here want to speak? Okay, Eli, we have any hands raised? Okay. Okay, we have nobody electronically, so I'll close the public comments and bring it back to council.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2622, a resolution of the City Council of the City of 29 Palms, California, ordering the submission to the qualified election of the city of a certain measure relating to the adoption of a 1% transaction sales and use tax at the general election to be held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, as called by resolution number 2619.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Ramirez?
Aye.
Councilmember Bildering?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Scott?
Aye.
Mayor Mintz?
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Okay, looking for another motion?
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2623, a resolution of the City Council of the City of 29 Palms, California, setting priorities for filing a written argument regarding a City Council initiated measure ordinance establishing a 1% transaction, sales, and use tax at a general municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, and directing the city attorney to prepare an impartial analysis.
Second.
Yeah, a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Just want to add a tiny tidbit. One thing that I really want our community to understand is that in taking these votes today, this isn't really about us increasing the tax measure. It's really about giving the people, you guys, an opportunity to vote on what kind of future you want. That's what this is about, to put it on the ballot and to give the power back to the people.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Bilgering?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ramirez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Scott?
Aye.
Mayor Mintz?
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Okay, future council initiated items.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a future initiated item. I'd like an item to be discussed regarding a moratorium on data centers in the city of 29 Palms.
I'll second that. Okay, all
I
right.
have two. One, I would like for us to have a discussion on the city pursuing a designation as an opportunity zone and what that would mean for us.
Designating us as an opportunity zone.
Second.
And then the second one would be to have a discussion about the reallocation of funds that was set aside for the shade structure that was supposed to go outside of City Hall. It's kind of just sitting in limbo, and for us to have a discussion about what that would look like for grant writing.
Second.
Well, are you leaving a discussion for anything or just grant writing?
Specifically for grant
writing. Okay. Okay. Doesn't sound like we have any more, so we'll go with public comments. This is the time for the public to address the city council on issues within the jurisdiction of the city council that is not on this agenda. All comments are to be directed to the city council and shall be not consistent with any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional and courteous decorum during their comments. There is a time limitation of 3 minutes per person. If you haven't already done so, please fill out the name, address slip, and give it to the city clerk. The city council is prohibited by state law from taking action, discussing items not included on the printed agenda. Public comments on this agenda will be deferred and considered on the item on the agenda. Okay, Beth Sheffield.
Good evening. I want to thank Octavia Scott again for hosting the community roundtable discussion about flock. Big kudos. I was very happy to see roughly 80 people in attendance. Most people were opposed to the surveillance system, not all, but it was good to come together as a community and talk about the issue. In the meeting, several people asked about a pattern of life or a heat map. I didn't know what that was, so I researched it when I got home, and I learned pattern of life is the flock feature that turns a string of camera reads into a behavioral profile. The sheriff picks a license plate, and Flock plots every camera that captured it and then superimposes that onto a map. The overlay brightens where the vehicle spends most of its time, and that's what's called a heat map. Sorry for this very rough example. The users have the option of selecting a time frame anywhere from 14 to 30 days or longer, and each location will glow brighter on the map in proportion to how much time the vehicle spends there. Flock promotes this pattern of life feature in their marketing videos on their website, even though the Flock reps say they do not have this capability. Of note, Flock did not invent the phrase pattern of life. It's a counterterrorism and military intelligence term for building a behavioral template of a target by tracking their movements. And just yesterday, I learned that the LAPD has discontinued its Flock contract. Here's why. The Los Angeles Police Department announced that it will let its surveillance contract with Flock expire, becoming the largest police department in the country to drop its contract. Notably, the decision came after an audit found that in a 2-month period, LAPD had improperly investigated 161 people whose cars were flagged as stolen in the LAPD's license plate reader system, but were not actually stolen. The LAPD reports states, in addition to creating an inconvenience for vehicle owners, these inaccuracies can affect individual liberty, erode public trust, and potentially create substantial legal and financial, liability and concerns. Notably, the report states that when a police get a hit that a license is on the hot list, the department responds as a high-risk stop, meaning the risk of confrontation or potential danger is greatly increased from routine traffic stops. Thank you again for the community roundtable discussion, and I sincerely hope the city will host another meeting in the near future so we can continue discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Catherine Powell. Catherine Powell.
Hi, Catherine. My name's Catherine Powell. I also want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Octavia Scott for holding the roundtable regarding flock. There's obviously public interest, and I'm requesting that the council schedule an actual discussion at an official council meeting to get feedback on the record before the contract comes up for renewal. I urge the council to hold this meeting by October and hopefully more than one to allow adequate time for public input. I also want to say that Mayor Pro Tem Scott noted at the meeting that there needed to be more research. Please let us know how we can provide you and the council more information. Thank you. And then, as noted at the meeting, one of the most important issues regarding flock is the security and use of our personal data by a private company. They have changed the language of their contracts to say the data is owned by the customer, but includes a license in perpetuity, that means forever, to use this data in their services, no matter what the data retention limitations are for the customer. And finally, as noted, the LAPD just canceled their flock contract. This illustrates there are grave concerns by law enforcement as well as the general public. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Audrey Philpott.
Thank you very much for this time. Thank you to the City Council, the Mayor, City Manager, City Clerk, for doing such a wonderful job of conducting these meetings. And thank you for starting this new service where people can log in online. I'm here to talk about briefly my concern about the issue of mining in our town. And I have been educating myself about this. I've been reading everything I can get my hands on. I really want to understand what's going on because this can substantially change the character of our city. And we have to know if we want to do this or not as a community and have a voice about that. So I am bringing it to your attention so that it can be placed on a future agenda of the City Council to have further conversations about this very important issue. I am a resident here, I am a homeowner, and I live in the Hanson Tract. So I am very concerned and want to know that we're all aligned in making the right decisions about our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Cindy Bernard. Maybe.
Hi again. I'm here to talk about something else, but I can verify that for sure there are current mining stakes that were done as recently as the end of June in our city boundaries. Anyway, as you know, Supervisor Don Rowe has said that District 3 is targeted for energy development. A clear sign of that is the new solar farm being built 3/4 of a mile from our city border in our sphere of influence. County was not a good partner to our city on this project. Oddly, county ordinance states that solar development taking place in the city's sphere of influence follows the zoning of the city making this build. However, it follows the in a sphere of influence follows the zoning of the city. It basically means the build is illegal. It was an illegal build. They were required to notify the water district prior to the building, and Matt was never notified. He found out after the project was fenced when a construction meter was requested. The staff report and findings for this build were riddled with errors, one of which stated that the solar farm was 5 miles from 29 Palms, but that was measured to city center, not to the border. or closest neighborhood, which is about 2 miles away. The findings also said that Joshua Tree National Park was 10 miles away, but the park is 3 miles away. In any case, we're stuck with it now. My neighbors and I get to look at it every day, and I just want to reiterate, this was a violation of county's own ordinances that this happened. Does that mean the city should do nothing? Of course not. The county knows they screwed up. They owe us. Here's a few suggestions for compensating 29 Palms residents for this violation of our sphere of influence and county ordinances. County could open the Lear Fire Station. They could provide us with the sheriff's service officer that we desperately need. It's a community solar farm that may provide credits to Joshua Tree and 29 Palms residents. Perhaps we should ask those credits go to 29 only. We can insist on a community benefits package from the developer, and perhaps you have ideas as well, but we should get something for this. They really screwed up. We need to demonstrate to the county that we will be vigilant about energy development in our sphere of influence. We want to be partners with the county and not be bullied by this very, very large county. I have communicated with Supervisor Rowe regarding the approval, and I will be meeting with Land Use Director Miguel Figueroa to better understand what happened from a press perspective. But speaking as a resident, please speak up for your constituents on this and don't let us down. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, since I'm talking so quickly to get into 3 minutes, there's more in the article I wrote for the Desert Trumpet at deserttrumpet.org, getting that shameless self-promotion in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I had one public comment from Heather. She just mentioned about flock that she's still opposed to it. So she says make sure we educate ourselves. Okay, Eli, do we have any hands up? 0 attendees. Okay. Well, it's that's all the slips I have. Did anybody else had one? Well, come on up. Just fill out a green slip when you're done. Sorry, I don't have it up here, so.
Okay, hi, my name is Lynette Ramirez. At the beginning of every public comment period, we are reminded that there will be no personal attacks and that members of the public are expected to maintain professional and courteous decorum. But this admonishment is only one way. Certain members have threatened businesses, and those businesses are reporting a decline in some of their base traffic, citizens' jobs, and defamed charities, ultimately being served a cease and desist to make it stop. I was recently contacted by a group that advocates for the homeless, and they were distraught after the recent raid on encampments. 2 things specifically bothered them. First, certain members made a video showing the individual's personal items and labeling them as trash and blight. To us, they might be trash and blight, but to those homeless people, that was their home or the last outfit that maybe gave them some dignity. And we've got to show some respect when we go out and make contact, whether they want a house or not. Second is the song that was used in the video, Sound of the Police. It's a song about slave catchers, dirty cops, and overseers. When asked to remove the song, perhaps replacing it with Lean on Me, and take down the pictures of the individual's property, the response was to laugh about it with another constituent. I have watched Barstow, the Apple Valley School District, Adelanto, and Hesperia censor members who have done far less than what's happening here, and these were recent censors. Again, I'm asking this council to put a code of conduct and ethics with actual consequences in place. As long as one does not exist, every time this council reminds citizens to conduct themselves professionally, remember this: you're telling the public that the rules only apply to us, but not you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is anybody else? I got no more slips? Okay, well, this meeting is adjourned.